Right. Hey guys, should we wait for more attendees or we should just start? All right, let's get to it. Hi guys, so this is my title for today: Why Good Lighting Goes Unnoticed. I would like to do a little bit of an introduction for myself. Um, so who am I? My name is Farah Azhar. I'm a lighting artist. So my career journey began with an internship at Omens Studios. So at Omens Studios is where I kind of discovered my passion for lighting. And this is where I understand like the full production pipeline. And at Omens, what we did there is I was doing light and comm for their kids' TV show, which was airing at Channel 5 Singapore. So it was really fun. From there, I was working at Glow Production. This is where I truly developed my skill as a lighting artist. I was lighting and also doing compositing for numerous AAA games, studios, and companies. Basically, at Glow is where I kind of learned a huge chunk of what I know today. So now I am currently at Albrite Studios. As Sophie says, I am doing. We're actually working on our game. It's a double A studio, and we are working on our game project with the running title Project 12. So yeah, be excited about that. Um, so in Albright Studios, I've had the opportunity to contribute more closely in the technical and also the creative aspect of game development. So these are some of my work. These are my professional and also my personal work. So you guys can take a look. Pretty cool, pretty cool. These are basically like my top my top favorite picks of my work that I've done so far in my career. So guys, let's back it up. So, why good lighting goes unnoticed? Let me ask you guys another question. What even is good lighting? So let's move to this image. Let's take a look at this image. This still went viral before this game even launched. This is what we call, I guess, marketing. This is how the lighting affected the marketing. The visuals are so deliberately bleak and uncomfortably real, and that is their design choice. The lighting is so convincing that you believe the world without questioning it. The game puts you in high pressure situations, and the hyper realistic lighting actually makes the pressure feels physical. So when you're like playing the game and you're shooting and you can feel the recoil, it feels absolutely immersive and believable. So basically, good lighting is when it is doing the emotional work on you in real time. So next up is the lighting knows something that you don't. I would have this mindset that handling lighting is like handling an actor in a scene. So good lighting is when it is working with narrative, and that means that the lighting knows the story. So it's not just illuminating a scene, it is actually participating in it. So moving on to the next point, nothing in this frame is an accident. So this frame is actually from a game called Replace. It is a new game. I just recently played their demo. The dramatic lighting, the controlled camera, the deliberate composition, every shot in this game feels like it is being directed. So when lighting is this controlled, it stops from being a department. It becomes a director. When lighting is working this well with composition and camera, it's not just supporting a scene, it's making decisions. So in my opinion, this is the highest form of what lighting can do. Okay, so this is quite a controversial pick. Some of you guys love this game, some of you guys hate it. But in my opinion, Valorant has mastered gameplay readability. So, okay, let's go back to my previous frame, replaced. Let's go back to replace, yeah. This specific shot is very pretty. There's no doubt about it. But you can only look at this scene for a bit je, because it is so contrast, it is so in your face. But when you compare it to Valorant's frame, streamers can look at this type of frame for hours on end. And the surface, like every surface in this game, every corner, every angle is readable, and that is intentional. It is not the lighting's job here to impress you guys. It is to let your eyes rest anywhere. And that is good lighting, and lighting, when the lighting serves its purpose, that's when you know that it is working. So, yes, good lighting is not universal. It is contextual. I cannot give you guys a direct answer of what good lighting is, basically. So, this begs the question, what is the lighting actually doing to us? Oh, sorry. So this is my next part, lighting as a manipulator. So, okay, this shot is actually an old work of mine. I came up with this on a whim. All the assets in this scene is from Turbo Squid. Do you guys know that website? It has like all free assets in there. So I just put this together to create a few different light sets for this one scene. So the lighting controls the environment, it controls your attention, and it also never works alone. So every visual element is having a conversation together. The composition, the color, the atmosphere, it all depends on each other. A lot of people's work goes into what you see and what you don't see. Let me go back a bit. Okay, so take this shot for example. All these assets are just basically silhouettes. So back at my days at Glow, all the modeling artists, we have this running joke with them. So when they're done with their work, they need to send their completed work to us lighting and the VFX department. And they would say usually that this is the last time that they would see their work. You know why? Because when it comes to us lighters and VFX artists, almost like 90% of what you see on screen will get covered by the shadow, will get covered by smoke, fog. So they would eat up like 90% of the frame. So the modeling artists would go like, curse you, fog VFX, you know? So did I scare you guys? Yeah? Sorry for a jump scare. So how do you guys feel right now? Do you guys feel the discomfort? Do you guys feel the tension and unease? This is this image's purpose. The visual elements work together to achieve a certain feeling. So yes, lighting has hierarchy, and hierarchy creates order. If you manipulate the order, you can manipulate how everything feels. And if you lose it entirely, familiar things will start to feel wrong. Okay, Do you guys have any questions so far? I think I'm going too fast, but it's okay. Okay, speaking of something feeling wrong, let me tell you guys about a challenge I faced back at Albrite, at my current studio. So, before I explain to you guys my story, I would like to explain to you guys what ACES even is. This is going to be a bit technical, so apologies, but this is as technical as it is going to get. So ACES is a color space, and each color space has a different color gamut, or in layman's term, range. So all those wonky triangles that you see, the rainbow, that is the full spectrum of the full color spectrum of what we can see with our naked eye. So can you guys see the triangles? So those triangles are the range of each of this color space has. So you can see how this ACES 2065 has the biggest range that any of this color space has to offer. But then for REC 709, the triangle is a little bit small. It is probably the smallest, yes. The triangle is the smallest meaning that everything that is outside of that triangle will be ignored by that specific color space, REC 709. So, you guys following me? Okay. So yes, ACES CG is what the industry prefers because it handles a wide color range, wider, and the lighting information is more accurate. It is what films uses, and it is what games are moving towards. And it is actually what we use at Glow. So I have this ACES CG at the back of my mind. It's what I know, it is what I autopilot use basically. And if you guys are curious, just a little bit of a Unreal Engine sharing. So in the project setting of Unreal Engine, this is a screenshot of the project setting in the engine itself. You can go open up project settings and you can go to rendering here and you can scroll down and find the working color space. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly what I forgot to check. I didn't realize that I have to change it myself. What a noob mistake. Okay, to explain visually about this color space is, the top one is 709, and the bottom one is ACES CG. To the naked eye, yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's doable, it's kind of the same. Yeah, I'd argue this one has more color. But, I mean, it's whatever, right? Let me tell you guys, my heart sank when I saw REC 709 instead of ACES CG. So REC 709, again, it clips values. When light gets too bright or too dark, it cuts it off. There's no information because it goes beyond the range. But for ACES holds that information. All the details that lives in extreme ends of light, REC 709 loses it and ACES CG holds it. I mean, the difference isn't obvious in a still frame, but it is absolutely catastrophic if it's in an entire game. So I was in the trenches, y'all. I was relighting, re-rendering, reassessing my life choices in under 1 week. So that was intense. But there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So what I got out of my blunder is a better look for the game. This is a screenshot that my boss approved me to show you guys. So I got a better look, a stronger visual relationship. My lighting is more intentional. And yeah, I need to just trust my problem-solving skills more. And honestly, none of this would have happened without my team's graces. We went through it together, all in the name of better lighting. Okay, so we've talked about lighting that works. We also talked about lighting that manipulates. And we also talked about lighting that humbled me. But what about lighting that is just so deliberate that you can't not notice it? So let's challenge the title. What about lighting that just demands to be seen? Okay, guys, this is kind of the end, the last part of my talk. So if you guys have any questions later, you can ask me. But before that, I would like to do a short case study about Playdads Inside. It's about lighting you can't ignore and also you can't explain. So actually, I played this game because my colleague intern Alia right here recommended it to me. It is a really wonderful puzzle platformer and it actually inspired her to create her game. I mean a little bit, references here and there. So basically, Inside drops me in with no explanation. No context, no dialogue, no UI, just a boy running, just a boy running in a world that just feels very wrong from the first second. And I would say that is intentional. Playdad never wanted me to feel comfortable enough to define it, to define the world. So this is actually how the game starts. You're just here, and there's just the spotlight beaming on that rock, on that piece of rock. So this game is absolutely dreadful. The lighting, the color choices, Playdad wanted me to feel this from the moment this game starts, and then they went further. There's a moment in this game where everything shifts. I wouldn't tell you guys like any spoilers because this game is worth playing from start to finish, even though it is dreadful, but bear with it. So the world pulled me in. It gave me a false sense of belonging. I feel like I already had a ground to stand on, but during this exact part of the game, there's a submarine there. So during when the player, let's just call the player Red, when Red is in this submarine, it feels like the world or the game took a shift. It felt like I'm in this game too deep and I can't swim back up. So yes, playing inside, I found myself questioning everything about the game, everything that I see. And 70% of those questions were never answered. But did that make the game a bad game? No, it is exactly the opposite. Playdad trusted Playdad trusted the darkness. They didn't over-explain, they did not overlight, and they withheld, and it made everything in the game more powerful. So, good lighting doesn't need to explain itself, and neither should you guys. So, don't overcompensate. So, that is the end of my talk. I hope you guys have taken something out of my talk, or at least it's a little bit entertaining for everybody. So, yeah, thanks. You guys can follow me here. Okay, everybody clap thank yous. Do you guys have any questions? Yes.
I want to ask more about like using like colored lighting for mood. Can you elaborate more on that?
Color lighting for mood.
Yes, if you want an example, I had this thought about this JoJo Part 4, where one of the key points is actually the fact that all the colors in the world are shifted in like a weird way to show how strange this town was.
Okay.
Like piss yellow sky,
Yes.
full clouds,
Yes.
like weird colors and lighting. But then like that's such like a bizarre choice of colors. If if
Okay, for your question specifically, I don't know that game actually, or
Not a
that
game,
show,
it's
the
just a
JoJo,
but you get the
JoJo's
idea
Bizarre
that
World.
Bizarre Adventure.
Okay, sorry.
It's fine. It's just the key point is just that using strange colors to show how strange the world is.
Okay, for me, I think this goes back to my point where lighting needs a good relationship with every visual aspect in your project. So when you already mastered the beats of narrative in your game, then only the creative direction of the light will shine through. So then you will know, oh, okay, after this certain thing, this certain plot happens, then I need to shift this in order for the player to have a better understanding of what you're trying to convey and a better experience overall. Yes. So, any other questions?
You get the mic, pass it to them.
Oh, cool. Yes. I think we have some time, guys. We can just talk. Let me sit down.
Hi,
Hello.
I'm a sound designer for games.
Okay, cool.
And from what I'm understanding, lighting does feel like it falls under the category of like UX also, right? Like player experience.
Yes.
Curious, where does lighting come under design for work, and how
Oh.
much influence do you have on what you design it to look like versus how the expectation is for it to look like, or that someone else's expectation?
Right. Can I know which part of sound design are you in, or like an idea of your pipeline, I guess?
Sorry, so this isn't related to sound design, but
Ah.
this is more connecting to like the point is that is, it focuses a lot on player experience, and it feels like if you don't have a eye for lighting, it can be underappreciated. Like the examples you use for Valorant and the other games, so there is a purpose to that. So where does lighting come into the workflow pipeline lah?
Okay, so production wise, lighting is never solo. I don't think the pipeline is, oh, you create a look specifically during the lighting pipeline. Actually, lighting, VFX, and sound is at the end of production. And in the beginning part, in basically, lighting is in production, but we also have this whole other thing called pre-production. So during pre-production, it's not like the lighting artists are just waiting for a look to be created by like concept artists and then they would come in. Basically, everybody is working in unison. So the concept artists will work closely with the art director and also lighting artists to achieve a certain look with context to also narrative. So I would say, in terms of pipeline, everything just goes together. But it's the execution that is separating each of these steps or progress, I'd say. Yeah. Hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
When it comes to lighting
Yes.
in games, I did notice that there is like you need to strike a balance. Like while making games, sometimes when it comes to messing with lighting, I realized that you kind of need to find a sense of balance between functional lighting and mood lighting. I
Yeah.
call it mood lighting. It's oversimplification. But I realized while making games is that if I want everything to look good, especially if I want it to be like dark and dingy, no one can see anything. That's the problem.
Yep.
But if I make everything really bright so that players can see what they're doing, then it becomes like you can see everything. It's just not moody anymore. It just looks like daytime.
And also, if you can see everything, where are you supposed to go? You know,
Yeah,
like you
that's
can go
also
anywhere.
another thing.
Yeah.
But then that comes the problem of like finding that balance. Do you have any advice on how to like strike that balance of like moody lighting / functional lighting?
Well, okay, to kind of pick apart your statement, I like that the word that you use, functional. It's memang what we use back in production. To me, there's actually two types of lighting when you're doing your work in production. There is um, functional, and actually I also forgot what the other word is. I guess mood lah. Let's just use your word. There's two types of lighting in production that goes in context with like it being functional or not. There is local lighting, which is I'd say functional, and there is also global lighting. So this is just a system actually that I use for our current project. So there's local and global. So global is where I would say where all the moods are at, all the baseline of what the lighting would look like in a certain environment. So when you got your mood or when you got your global lighting down, then you have a good foundation to then craft your local lighting. So local lighting meaning your functional lighting.
Okay.
So yes, there's always processes like to this.
So basically, kind of get the mood down first, and then once you realize, okay, everything looks good, now I can think about what is
What do you
needed
want
for the
to,
player to know.
yes, what do you want to
Okay.
emphasize? What do you want to push the player to?
Okay, yeah, that's actually nice.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
No problem. Do you guys have any other questions? What's my top 4 movie, favorite movies?
Okay, so I want to ask, like, regarding your experience, like, like how do you decide that you want to be a lighting artist? Because pretty sure when we take into this career, we were all started as a concept artist.
Right. So, how many of you guys are concept artists? Okay. So, what about the rest of you guys? Animator, very technical. Sorry? 3D artist. So how I got to know that I wanted to do lighting? Actually, it is quite of an accident. Back when I was trying to find an internship place, I applied at Omen Studio, and I applied actually as an animator because back at uni I studied I studied 3D animation. I didn't study game development. So the guy was like, "Hey, Farah, we're so sorry, but there's no animation slots left. Everything is filled. But actually, there is a lighting position for you if you are interested." So I was like, I didn't know anything back when I was applying. I was like, "Huh, lighting? Okay, sure, whatever." Now I did the art test, and then while I was doing the art test, then I realized, oh, this is actually the pipeline in the production that I really, really like to do because I'm more of a visual person rather than I am a technical person. I would love to know how to animate, but I just can't seem to get the fundamentals down. But yes, to me, I think I am privileged that that slot just opened up for me. Yeah.
How long have you been, starting with this career?
I started, I think it was 4-ish years ago, I would say. I was quite lucky actually because I started off during the COVID times. Do you guys remember during COVID how the game industry is just booming? You can find positions quite a lot if you compare to nowadays. Yeah, it is quite a bit of an opportunity. So yeah, I was really lucky that I didn't have much of a struggle getting to get to all the opportunities that I have gotten so far. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's all for me.
Thank you so much for your questions. Any more? Any more? Praveen, this guy. Thank you.
Then how would you separate the difference between good lighting and good color?
Good lighting and good color. Good question. I think the major misconception that people have about lighting is they forgot to separate color and value. Those two are very two different things. So when you figure out what values you want to use, sometimes concept artists, you guys do understand like the value practices that we do, like all those black and white drawings that we have to do. That is how we understood value. And if you get the value, if you get the fundamentals of value down, then you could move on towards figuring out what color to use, which color goes well, and what are you trying to convey with the colors that you chose. Yeah.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi. Hello. Okay.
Hello.
I'm a programmer. So my question I would like to ask about lighting in particular is when do you start doing the lighting process in a project? Is it something that you start at the very start, or so you can get the mood right, or those, or is it something that you do towards the end of the project? Yeah.
Okay, I think I could answer this the same way as our other friend asked me. It's almost the same answer, is everything in the production goes together. So everyone moves in unison. For lighting specifically, I can be specific lah, just to give you an example. So my world builders are building the game in another level. I'm using Unreal Engine terms, by the way, so apologies to all the Unity people. But okay, so example, world builder doing the level. And I would take whatever scrap I can find in that world building, I copy it, I do it in another level, and I'll do my lighting process there in my own separate level. So I feel like I am in progression, the same as the rest of the team are in progression. So everybody just needs to kind of put their head down and just create lah, together. Yes.
Okay, so to follow on that, because you said the team moves together.
Yep.
So like for the example you showed where you have to change the color gamut.
Yeah.
When you change that gamut, did the whole team have to move together also and like change their workflow?
Yeah, it was intense. The one thing that I remember is, there's an example for programmers. We have like cutscenes in the game. So even the cutscenes that is actually from an MP4 shot, even that needs to be re-rendered. And also we added a few more nodes in the blueprint that plays the cutscene. We had to add a few more nodes just to convert these shots to ACCG. And I had to figure that out because the programmers are like, what the hell did you do? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. But yeah, that is that. But I would like to add that I am in a AA studio. So my work is not like Zelda. It's not as huge as that. So it is still attainable for me to rectify, my problems. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. More questions?
Hi, Farah.
Hi, Burhan.
I missed the talk. I
It's
had
fine.
emergency this morning, but thank you for the production questions from the fellow audiences. I have one
Yes.
that I can bounce off that, and I want to ask you. So, of course, like you mentioned, we all move together in production when it comes to any pipeline, right? But
Yeah.
in your opinion / experience, what would be the best time for the earlier parts of pre-production to involve lighting in the conversation? For example, when we do a key art of a level, do we already start talking to lighting, or do we wait until level design is solid enough, then we only involve lighting? Like, in your experience, what would be the best time to start that conversation?
Okay, for example, in our studio, Albrite, we have a concept artist that I work closely with. And while we are jamming on ideas, I jam on the ideas with my concept artist as well as our art director. So we are all in conversation together. It's not like I'm just waiting, for example. But when we are jamming on the concept of the look of a visual identity, the world builders and the programmers are still doing their work, but we call it the blockout stage. So everything is in blockout. Everything is okay to move. Everything can be changed. So the tricky bit of working in game development is you need to take into account that any of your work, it can flip. Anything can go. So yeah, I
Thank
hope
you.
that answers your question.
No, yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think we have time for one more question from the audience. If you guys like to ask any more.
Please.
Okay. If there's no other questions from the audience, then I'll just do one, right? So as somebody who's working in the education pipeline, and we have students who are probably, they start out thinking they're going to come to be generalists, and then later on they'll start to find their niche. They're suddenly going to decide that they want to become lighting artists instead, let's just say, as opposed to being a few generalists or specifically focusing on one part. So what is your advice for somebody who wants to get started in lighting, maybe from other parts of the art pipeline?
Okay, this question is, I think it's pretty common for people to have this question, but what I advise you to do is if you have a specific goal that you're looking for, then you just tune your portfolio so you can achieve the goal. So if, for example, you want to do lighting, so you need to take your own initiative to create a separate portfolio and to showcase what you can offer. You need to tell people what you can offer for them to, have a conversation with you. Yes.
Is there anything they should be showcasing specifically? Like, I know, show lighting if you want to do lighting. It's
Yeah.
quite descriptive, right? But is there anything specifically, like, should be focusing on light shots or, like, any kind of scenes or
Okay.
kind of thing? These are the kinds of questions that the kids tend to ask usually before they go out there, right? So,
Yeah, okay. I have like a personal take on that question.
yeah, sure.
So based on my experience, if you can see all my work, usually it is environmental. Usually. This is environment, that's environment. The thing about it is I'm not really that good with character lighting. I always have something that is a little bit off. But I think to me that is because of my fundamentals. Maybe I just need to explore more. But to me, I really, really like to do environment. And when you really like to do something, there's no ways about it. You just need to do more. Just need to do more. You need to craft more, and then only you can build a stronger portfolio. But yes, it all boils down to how your portfolio looks, and you can determine what looks right and what looks wrong with the references that you choose. So as visual artists, we need to have good reference. All of my work, everything is reference. I mean, you can see it's a little bit cropped, but that's my reference for this light. So I'm not just going off in my head alone, figuring out what light to use or what not. So yeah, just need to learn, and we need to be visual people. Yes?
When I tried to do some research on lighting at one point, but a lot of that tends to be related to film or film lighting with like your front light, background, bounce lights,
The 3 point.
yeah, 3 points. But then when I studied animation, they also teach the 12 fundamentals of animation. But then I
Yeah.
also realized that not all of the 12 is applicable to games specifically.
Mm.
Would you say that lighting in film is also the same case where not all of film lighting works in games?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like even whatever we learn from film, we can take whatever it is into game itself. Like for example, cutscenes. Those are just basically short films, what? So it's kind of the same. It is up to you guys to manipulate the fundamentals according to whatever it is that guys want to create. Yeah. Thank you so much.